Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to Operation Freedom Briefings. The goal of these briefings and my weekly radio show, Operation Freedom, which airs out of the People's Republic of Ann Arbor, Michigan, every Sunday from 2 to 5 Eastern, which can be streamed at davejanda.com. It's a live show, davejanda.com. Just hit the listen button and tune in. The goal of that show and these briefings is to provide you information the bought-off, lamestream, fake media will never provide. On this past Sunday show, I had the opportunity of having Colonel Craig Roberts join me. Now, Colonel Roberts comes to us with a vast experience in a number of different fields. He was one of the lead snipers for the United States military for many years. After he retired, he became a Tulsa police officer, including a sniper, but he also worked many different angles. And in fact, when the Murrah building was blown up in Oklahoma City, the Oklahoma City division of the FBI called him in as an expert to analyze what had really happened. Not what the government narrative was, but what really happened. If you want insight into that, I encourage you to get his book off of Amazon. It's called The Medusa File, and he just came out with a second version, The Medusa File 2. It tears apart in painstaking detail what really happened, and I can assure you, it is not what we had been told. That is the reason why I brought Colonel Roberts to Operation Freedom. He not only has ballistics and weapons experience as a sniper, but he also has experience as a trained lead investigator for over 27 years. We looked and dissected and analyzed what had happened at that horrible, tragic event at the Country Western concert in Las Vegas. I encourage you to go to davejanda.com, and I encourage you to listen to the interview I did with Colonel Craig Roberts. Just go to davejanda.com. The guests are listed. Just hit that. I can assure you it will open your eyes. And many people's eyes have been opened. And the reason is because the story has changed so many times. I mean, let's just look at the most recent report. Quote, this is from Zero Hedge. Vegas massacre story changes. Gunman shot security guard before opening fire on the crowd. Remember, it said that this guy was firing, this Paddock character was firing for 11 minutes and then was interrupted with this guard trying to get in his room, and he shot through the door and shot the guard. Well, it turns out that narrative, and it blows apart the timeline, was completely wrong. Was completely wrong. That he had actually shot the guard before. So the question comes in, well, why didn't the guard radio to get the police up there sooner? Because the police ended up coming up onto the floor about 17, 18 minutes later, long after the shooting had been accomplished, but before they barged into the room and broke into the room, supposedly, one of the timelines shows it took 72 minutes. The story started to fall apart from the beginning. And then you add to that a couple other important points here. We had a number of witnesses saying that there were multiple shooters from multiple areas. You had videos showing, and with the acoustic analysis showing that there were multiple shooters. This headline, Las Vegas mass shooting eyewitness. There were, quote, 4 to 5 shooters attacking from multiple hotels. Listen, quote, the first shooter was at the Mandalay Bay, and then the MGM. And then we heard shots from the Excalibur in New York and Tropicana, and reportedly there were also shots fired at the Bellagio. End quote. Well, why is this important? Because it implies that this was more than a, quote, lone wolf. That this was a operation, potentially, of possibly a domestic terrorist organization or a sting that went bad. Add to that a couple interesting points that you won't hear in the bought-off, lamestream, fake media. Are you aware that the CEO of MGM that owns Mandalay Bay, this guy by the name of Marin, in September, about a month before the attack, sold 80% of his shares in his own company. Now, the same Marin in the past had encouraged his employees to donate and that they would match contributions to organizations such as the Southern Poverty Law Center. Very radical organization. CARE, an Islamic group. And add to that the fact that George Soros bought $42 million of puts. That means on MGM stock, betting it would go down. And he did that transaction in mid-August. Remember, right before September 11th, there were some really nasty financial dealings in American Airlines and United Airlines that people bet that their stock prices would go down. Whenever you start seeing this pop up, financial transactions, and then something negative happen, at a minimum, it bears further investigation. But then there was this post, and I want to read it to you directly off of Reddit and a poster by the name of 4chan. Quote, "The Las Vegas Metro Police Department knows the motive behind the attack, but the FBI will not allow us to release the motive because it implicates a portion of the government in illegal arms deals and supplying arms to domestic terrorists within U.S. borders." Now you might say, wait a minute, that would never happen. Remember Fast and Furious under the Obama administration? They were purchasing arms, giving them to Mexican drug cartels, and it backfired. They were going to try to catch some of these characters. And it backfired. And when it backfired, there were some federal agents that got killed. So don't think this is out of the realm of possibilities. But this post goes on. Stephen Paddock was an undercover agent of the United States government who participated in multiple illegal arms deals in the Las Vegas area in a gun-running entrapment scheme similar to Fast and Furious that involved the Mexican drug cartels. Paddock thought he was engaging in another routine arms transfer, but the domestic terrorists had learned about the entrapment scheme and Paddock's true identity. They killed him and carried out the massacre and then fled the scene. It might explain why Paddock had 23 guns in his room. Maybe he brought those guns for this arms transfer. His brother slipped up at one point when he started talking about his brother, his second interview he did, and he said, well, Steve was an arms, didn't say dealer, but tried to walk it back and had a very difficult time walking it back. Bottom line, this needs to be investigated further. The story stinks and the story's changing. And when that happens, it means we don't have the full truth. The way we get to the full truth is holding everybody's feet to the fire. The local sheriff in Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Metro Police Department, the FBI, and it could well mean investigation at a much higher level into what really happened. We owe it to anyone and everyone who is affected by that heinous, horrendous action and event. Folks, please tune in to DaveJanda.com. Sunday, 2 to 5 Eastern. You can stream the show live. I will bring you and will continue to bring you the best, most analytical guests looking at events that are occurring in our country and around the world. Until next time, this is Dave Janda signing off. Dream big and dare to fail.